Part 69. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 708. Quick, Warrior Eagle, use the tailwind to escape from this place. At this time, how could Astrid care about the Boscadora, Big Steel Snake and Bulbasaur who had completely lost their combat effectiveness? Her mind went blank, and the only thought left was just escape. Return to the entrance to the Lake of Mirrors. Escape back to the original secret maze. Just go back there, Astrid will be safe. The rules of the secret labyrinth of Sky City: only one person can exist in a secret labyrinth. These two Chinese trainers, damn it! How could they know about my plan to destroy the Lake of Mirrors? Why is this happening? Why do they just take action without leaving any room? Astrid couldn't think about it in her heart. Clear. Why is there so much smelly mud here? Why are these smelly mud together with those two Chinese trainers? Why? They can find it here. Of course she couldn't understand. These stinky mud and stinking mud are in the land of Mirror Lake. The reason why they were born is because Professor Planzensen destroyed the Mirror Lake 24 years ago in order to find the secret of the Door of Life. Ironically, these stinky mud, have become the unwavering guardians of the Lake of Mirrors. Of course Astrid will not understand that real life will flourish no matter where it is, which is called the secret of the so-called Door of Life by the late Professor Planzensen. The closer you get to it, the closer you get to death. If you don't die, how will you know how precious life is? Stay, beautiful girl, stop her. Yang Yu looked back pitifully at the three gym-level elves behind him who had fallen to the ground and lost the ability to fight. Their master just left them and ran away. She doesn't deserve to be a trainer. Can you help me take Little Smelly Ni? Little Smelly Ni also wants to go to the front line, Wu Yukin said loudly. Yeah. When Little Smelly Ni completed an Alley-OP with Day with the help of the dream-inducing taper. Resting on the big beauty's back, he pursued at full speed forward. Bai Diao, the dream-inducing taper, let's go. Salted Fish King, Xiao Bao Bao, you two hurry up, if you are any slower, you won't even be able to drink the soup. Poppy. The Salty Fish King and Little Tyrannosaurus had already missed opponents like Boscadora, Big Steel Snake, and Bulbasaur. They were all defeated by Big Beauty alone. This made the two Gyarados, who are known for their violence, especially why is it so embarrassing? Roar. Ho ho ho. Dance of Dragons. Dance of Dragons. Dragons, dance. The Salted Fish King looked at the distance between himself and Melee, which was still being pulled further away. How could he bear this? Roar. The Salted Fish King roared unwillingly, and the scales on his body once again clicked, and almost exploded with a chilling feeling. At this moment, the rising momentum and speed seemed to have once again reached an extreme. How can I bear this? The third Dance of Dragons, this is not enough. The Salted Fish King tried to perform the fourth dragon dance, but at this moment, his body began to become uncoordinated, that is, at this moment. What made Salty Fish King think of that move, a bodybuilding move that is symbiotic with the beautiful yoga poses? Coordination of speed and strength, coordination of speed, and body. When the momentum of bodybuilding caused the scarlet scales, which were already tense and bursting, to coordinate and tighten again, the Salty Fish King's huge scarlet pupils suddenly shrank and at the same time, they instantly enlarged again. Roar. The scales all over his body lit up suddenly, like blazing flames. When the anger broke out, it was even deeper than the blazing flames of the flaming monkey and the flaming horse. The Salted Fish King goes berserk. Bodybuilding. The fourth Dance of Dragons. Forming. The mighty, indomitable charge, this exhilaration of breaking through to the extreme, warmly feeds back from the Salty Fish King's body to the nerves in the Salty Fish King's head. This is a feeling like flying. The salted fish king instantly increased his speed by 2 gears, and at a speed visible to the naked eye, he gradually approached the great beauty ahead. Tropical dragon. How can they keep up with this speed? This is obviously to make things difficult for me, Fat Tiger. When it comes to long-distance flying capabilities, tropical dragons are among the best among all flying elves. They have electric fan-like blades on their backs that can use the power of the wind to take them flying. But now you are chasing someone. Yang Yu, come to my body outside. Let's go, the dream-inducing taper. Wu Yuqian couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth as he looked at the salted fish king who suddenly ran away and charged. Could it be? Is this the power of love? Why haven't I seen tropical dragon with such explosive power? It must be too good for the tropical dragon. From now on, we have to let the tropical dragon chase the geranium. Thank you, senior brother Qian. Yang Yu has now sent out all the elves who can pursue him. At this time, he needs Wu Yuqian's help. Let's go. This woman can't escape. Wu Yuqian also felt worthless for the 3 gym-level elves who had lost their fighting power. Boss Cordera, Big Steel Snake, Bulbasaur, this woman is really hot-hearted, and at the same time, extremely vicious. Bog Monster, Moon Eevee, you guys, go and block the pursuers from behind. Astrid couldn't control that much now. Minas and Slowking were chasing behind them at the speed of the naked eye, as well as what kind of thing is that in the hand of King Dede? Why are you chasing so fast? Warrior Eagle, hurry up, hurry up. Astrid couldn't help but urge. Swampert and Moon Eevee, who were escaping together underground, felt extremely sad in their hearts. How could they possibly stop the mighty and turbulent mountains of stinky mud that were bouncing behind them with just the strength of these 2 elves? Not to mention, Moon Eevee's strength is only above the elite level. This is abandonment. This means that their owners decided to abandon them here. Just like Boss Cordera, Big Steel Snake and Bulbasaur. This is the helplessness of the elf. Who dash? Then dash. Swampert and Eevee Moon finally chose to stop. For no other reason than they are elves. If you want to blame them for following the wrong master, but now they can still do one last thing for their master. Stop the elf behind. It's just like a mantis blocking a car. The mighty army of stinky mud and stinking mud is like the torrent of history, and it is completely unstoppable by their power alone. Swampert's earthquake. It has no effect at all on stinky mud that can be transformed into sludge form. Moon Eevee isn't a special attack elf either. If in a duel, Moon Eevee can occupy an important position with its excellent physical defense and special defense capabilities, but this is thousands of stinky mud. Eevee Moon didn't even glance at the great beauty in the sky. Too weak. Even the gym-level Bulbasaur couldn't withstand one move from the beautiful Tianlong dancer after it had maxed out its physical attacks. The Big Steel Snake, which was famous for its physical defense capabilities, could only withstand 2 moves. Go ahead with this move. Moon Eevee may die. More importantly, it will waste time. The most important task now is to stop the trainer in front. Yi. The beautiful and high-pitched voice resounded throughout this world. Only by arresting the trainer who destroyed the peace in Mirror Lake and leaving it to Yang Yu to make the decision can we truly achieve peace. Swampert and Moon Eevee barely made any sound, and were easily defeated by the vast army of stinking mud. It just makes them lose their combat effectiveness. The smelly mud here are not those of the poison and evil systems. Their leader hasn't spoken yet, so naturally he has to leave it to the leader of smelly mud to deal with it. Damn it, this damn waste, can't even use it for earthquakes. These elven resources, raise them in vain. It's such a waste of resources, Astrid gritted her teeth. The gym level Swampert and the elite level Moon Eevee, It seemed like she didn't even get a second of time, but fortunately, Astrid saw her last hope. That one, the door back to the secret maze. Quick, quick, warrior eagle, it's just a little bit closer, just a little bit closer. The warrior eagle also felt a burst of sadness in its heart. Perhaps it would leave on its own after it completed its final mission and bid farewell to its master. Maybe it misjudged its owner from the beginning. In times of crisis, their former partners were left here mercilessly one by their extremely trusted master Astrid. The warrior eagle did not know what his final fate would be, but he sent his master to leaving this world was the last thing it did for Astrid. Hold head high. The warrior eagle only felt a trance in front of it for a while, and a chubby, pink figure with a golden head shining appeared in front of it. It's the king of slowness. The ultimate speed of the big beauty plus the teleportation of the slow king. This can ensure that when Duduzu takes action to intercept, his strength remains at the absolute peak level. Ha 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 ha, super elves, are you the only ones with super elves? Astrid let out an extremely arrogant laugh. She has already prepared her backup plan. Magic wall doll. Use the air wall to stop it, let's go. Without the blockade of evil waves, you still want to block our teleportation path. Astrid's hair was extremely messy at this time, and her eyes that were completely crazy were already bloodshot. The youngest gym-level trainer in North America no longer looked as calm and composed as before. She's like a crazy patient from a mental hospital. Abandoning the warrior eagle mercilessly, when the warrior eagle saw the master who left its back due to the teleportation of the magic wall doll, the warrior eagle shed a few rare tears from its eyes. Warrior eagles have a brave character that is not even afraid of death. They will join in dangerous battles for their partners, even if they are injured, they will not hesitate. On the front of this warrior eagle, you can see densely healed scars. For the warrior eagle, these scars on the front are a symbol of bravery, a symbol of status, and, this is glory. However, this brave eagle shed tears for the only time in his life. The master ruthlessly abandoned him. If the magic wall doll's teleportation is carried along with it, the warrior eagle will not shed tears. The scars on the body are not terrible, the most terrifying thing is the scars on the soul. Before the warrior eagle completed its final mission, its owner abandoned it here. Hold head high. In the venue, the roar of the warrior eagle is the cry of despair. At this moment, it tried its best to fly towards the highest point in the sky, fly, fly. I don't know how long it took to fly. Warrior eagle is tired. If you are tired, then take a rest. There is even a last glimmer of obsession in the heart of the warrior eagle, hoping that its owner can take one last look at it. But Astrid, who never looked back, didn't look back at all. Even the demon wall doll that had stopped was forcefully pulled away by Astrid. There is no longer any attachment in this world. Then, how about this? The warrior eagle folds its wings and uses the gentlest breath to feel the last beauty of this world. It turns out that this is paradise. Stupid, beautiful girl, kill her for me, Yang Yu's voice finally said this sentence at the moment when the warrior eagle was determined to die and let out a mournful cry. Roar. At this moment, a scarlet figure surpassed the great beauty, surpassed the dullness. This evil. Made by me, the salted fish king. The desire to kill has begun, and the body of the salted fish king, once again undergoes incredible and terrifying changes. A bloody original evil thought sealed in the body of the salted fish king is like a hidden power of blood, which has begun to awaken from the body at this moment. The ancient and mysterious primitive power represents the ultimate evil. The 17-8-meter-long scarlet Gyarados stirred up a terrifying power that was like an atavistic evil. At this moment, those scarlet eyes had a faint white light, which was the most shocking. What's scary is the huge macro-shaped deck that started to grow behind the salted fish king. The back deck, which is as sharp and terrifying as a giant blade, represents that the salted fish king has entered a more terrifying level of super evolution. The body began to expand, forming jets from the side that could instantly eject high-speed torrents. The powerful torrents could increase the speed of the salted fish king to a terrifying level again. A ball of Shenlong destruction slash that was even more explosive than before suddenly condensed from the evil Scarlet Gyarados maw. What? Astrid's face turned extremely pale when she saw the super Scarlet Gyarados that appeared in hell, but the gate of the secret maze in front of her was close, very close. Magic wall doll, block it for me. I still have, the last life-saving elf. Astrid's face showed a glimmer of hope amid despair. An elf that looks a bit like Pikachu appears behind Astrid. Mimikyu. Mimikyu's special paint skin can withstand any attack from any move. You lost, ha 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 ha. The moment Astrid stepped into the door, an extremely crazy smile appeared on her face. But the next second, the light beam behind him instantly broke through Mimikyu's painting. Super Scarlet Gyarados, unusual characteristics. Ignore any elven characteristics. Mimikyu's painted skin is neutralized. Just as the Super Scarlet Gyarados Divine Dragon Destruction slashing light pillar bombarded Astrid, in the sky of the Labyrinth Secret Realm, an extremely bright burst of thunder crashed down at the same time. Hold head high. The dark sky of the Maze Secret Realm, at this moment, the dark clouds cleared away, and an extremely dazzling clear sky appeared. Use despair as thunder to sweep away the darkness in the world. Turn anger into thunder and shake the clear sky for eternity. Above the sky, the dark clouds dispersed, and a golden figure appeared from the sky, with black feathers on its back. Under the flash of electric light on its body, it looked impressive. The lightning bird put away all the electric light. The lightning flashed and quickly moved towards the fallen warrior eagle. There is another new creature in this world. Please vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 709. Lightning birds, it's lightning birds, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, it's lightning birds. Senior brother Jian, be careful, don't fall. That was the lightning bird just now, wasn't it? I'm not dazzled, right? The figure that just appeared, the secret realm of the Sky City, the ancient legend, don't deceive me. Wait, where is the lightning bird? Where is the lightning bird, and that where is a warrior eagle? In the sky, the lightning bird picked up the fallen warrior eagle. Just the next second, their figures disappeared into the sky. The light white clouds shrouded the place, concealing the whereabouts of the lightning bird. When the lightning bird was about to disappear into the clouds, both Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian saw the lightning birds look back this time. Hold head high. The sound of the lightning bird in the sky resounded throughout the 9 days, echoing endlessly. Senior brother Jian, the lightning bird has left with that warrior eagle. Before Yang Yu could finish speaking, he suddenly saw a scarlet figure rising into the sky like a rocket. It's the super salted fish king. The water jets formed by the body scales are like powerful jet devices, sending the super salted fish king into the sky at high speeds. The super salted fish king opened his big eyes, shook off the clouds, and looked left and right. Where are the birds? What about lightning birds? Behind the clouds that were thrown away at this time, there was still the shadow of the lightning bird. Super Salted Fish King feels his heart aches. If the insect power bank army was a power generation center composed of batteries, Lightning Bird is like a nuclear power plant. Xiangxian's heart aches because of this wave of blood loss. Yeah. Dede scratched the back of his head, and when he touched the golden conch cap, the small purple light bulb next to it flashed, as if he remembered something. There was also a little electricity stored in his hat, and Dede almost forgot about it. Yeah. Baby hat, discharge it quickly. He rubbed his hat blankly. This action was a bit like Aladdin hat, sizzle, Reggie lock. Great beauty. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. Yang Yu, your salted fish king seems to have gotten really big again. This is the real primitive super evolution, dual elements of water and evil, super Gyarados. Wu Yuqin looked up and was filled with emotion. I feel so complicated. His super giant mantis hadn't even come out yet to show off, but it was over. More importantly, Yang Yu's salted fish king was so damn big. The more he looked at Wu Yuqin, the more he felt his head was getting bigger. Big. Dada returned to the salted fish king's back and gave him a hug. The evil and violent energy in the salted fish king gradually dissipated in the comfort of this electric light, and the huge macro-shaped deck behind it began to shrink, but this deck did not shrink to the original size of the ordinary salted fish king. The size at that time was half as big as before. The scarlet color began to fade little by little, and it returned from the state of super scarlet Gyarados to scarlet Gyarados, and finally, it returned to the salted fish king. Looking at it this way, the salted fish king himself is indeed a bit salty. When all the power stored in the stupid golden conch cap was exhausted, the salted fish king returned to his azure figure, parted the clouds and mist, and flew freely in the increasingly clear blue sky. Roar! Astrid was completely purified. Not even a little bit of ash was left behind. It was as if he had never been in this world. Yang Yu speculated that why Lightning Bird chose to take action when Astrid finally stepped into the door of the secret labyrinth, it was because he was afraid that Astrid, the trainer, would mess up the secret realm of Square Mirror Lake. Yang Yu himself will never regret making that decision, but he secretly warned himself that he must not forget the most basic world theme in the real world of elves, like these people who are no longer worthy of being called trainers. Since the elves choose to follow you for reasons, they should continue on this path well, walk well, and follow the right path. God knows what you did. Maybe one day, Giratina, the Dark Dragon King in the reverse world, will come to harvest the souls of evil. Poppy. Little Dream Demon and Tijipai walked on the grassland that had returned to calm. Poppy. 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 Tijipai waved his finger. What did it find? The little dream demon quickly floated over to take a look. This is a rag with a strange smile painted on it. The smile on it? Little dream demon likes it so much. It would be great to scare people. Little dream demon and Tijipai took their newly discovered trophies and headed back in the direction of Yang Yu with smiles on their faces. Suddenly, the little dream demon's eyes lit up. Look, there's a lone mini dragon there. Tijipai, why don't we come together? What did the mini dragon see? Me. 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 Damn it. Yang Yu looked at the mini dragon that seemed suddenly frightened inexplicably, thinking that something dangerous had happened. When he looked again, he saw that there was another one running on the ground behind him. Mimikyu. This is not Astrid's one. Wait, something's wrong. Under the special characteristics of Super Salted Fish King, even if Mimikyu has the characteristic of painting, it is invalid. This Mimikyu. Why is it so awkward to run? Yang Yu raised his eyebrows, thinking of two little things. Looking around from a distance, Little Dream Demon and Tijipai were gone. Now, I understand. Otherwise, why would you only chase that mini dragon? Yang Yu, this Mimikyu, what the hell, isn't it already? Wu Yuqin was also startled when he saw this little elf. He had personally watched Mimikyu being super salty by Yang Yu. The Fish King broke through. How could it be? There are Dream Demon and Tijipai inside, but the little piece of rag outside Mimikyu is still a bit scary. It hasn't disappeared under such circumstances. If it weren't for the extraordinary characteristics of Super Salted Fish King, it might really be Mimikyu blocks it. Yang Yu couldn't help but said. Yes, Mimikyu, indeed, only Mimikyu has the magical ability to paint skin like this. The ghost under this rag is no longer there. But I remember my grandfather told me this little elf, as long as you have this piece of rag, you can go to a place with a strong ghost atmosphere and use this piece of rag to form a new Mimikyu, Wu Yukin said. The old ones won't go, and the new ones won't come, it's just that I have never done anything like what I did today, but I have a clear conscience. Yang Yu couldn't help but sigh. This is growth. When he was in that underground research institute, Yang Yu's mind was not so mature, but now, after experiencing things like Mirror Lake, his whole person has grown a lot. Indeed, I have a clear conscience. Yo. Xiao Ziani, who returned to Wu Yuqian, also agreed very much. The bad guys are like a bunch of garbage. We don't even need to deal with them with stinky mud or stinky mud. It's better to just purify them directly without leaving any pollution in the lake of mirrors. The Mimikyu chasing the mini-dragon seemed to have suddenly fallen into a pit, and Tajipai running at the bottom was finally exposed, but the little dream monster could still float and float. The mini-dragons were so scared that they cried. Good luck. Help. The ghost is here to eat the dragon. Except for eating, the mini-dragon's mind seems to be a little unclear. Didn't it realize that this was Mimikyu disguised by Tajipai and Little Dream Demon? Yang Yu sighed and shook his head. Maybe, this is a fool? But as Brother Qian just said, if Mimikyu can be resurrected, this characteristic of the painted skin will have incredible miraculous effects under certain circumstances. Maybe it can be used to fend off some sneak attacks. Although no one except Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian will know about Astrid's complete disappearance from this world, and no reason can be found in North America, in the future, Yang Yu will definitely go to North America to embark on a journey. Suffered. What kind of secrets did the North American trainer take away from the Mirror Lake 24 years ago? What was the purpose of destroying the Mirror Lake and looking for the Mirror Gate? Is it just to enter the Mirror Door? There must be other secrets in the secret realm of the Sky City, perhaps related to the 3 sacred birds, but as for the 3 sacred birds, Yang Yu only remembered the mysterious crystal that he and Reggie Locke had discussed before. Thing. If it's for the mysterious crystal, why does Astrid want to obtain the mysterious crystal? What kind of secrets does this involve in North America? In Yang Yu's mind, the golden light of predicting the future that had not appeared for a long time finally started to move at this moment. Last time it appeared. Did he meet Tajipai or Reggie Locke? Since predicting the future has begun to move, it means that this time the matter is important, and Yang Yu has to be careful about his own safety. It's impossible to try to create Mutuo like Team Rocket's boss Sakeke, right? Yang Yu curled his lips. Epsilon equals epsilon equals epsilon equals. There seemed to be some movement in the distance. Hurry, grab that magic wall puppet. Wu Yuqian's eyelids suddenly twitched. An elf that looked like a circus clown actually dared to escape under his nose. How could this be possible? A huge group of smelly mud swarmed up directly. With the help and control of the dream-inducing taper, the smelly mud jumped up instantly and entangled the fast-running magic wall puppet. The expression of hopelessness is miserable. Yang Yu, what should I say next? In theory, these gym-level elves are your personal trophies. This situation is very common in many countries and regions. However, you still have to be careful. There is such a situation in North America. A young gym-level trainer mysteriously disappeared in the secret realm of Sky City. When the time comes, these elves will be in great trouble. Wu Yuqian put his hands on his waist, stepped on a stone with one foot, and looked at the caught the demon wall doll. Although he said so, his expression was very indifferent. Senior Brother Qian, do you dare to ask for it? Yang Yu smiled. Why don't you dare? Astrid is asking for your own destruction. If you don't accept the spoils of justice, I'll be so sorry for myself. No guns, no cannons, the enemies made them for us. Yang Yul made a few gestures cheerfully. Stop it, stop it, stop it, Junior Brother Han, Junior brother Meng, no matter you are from the Qingyun sect or the patron section, we are still our own people, don't talk. This magic wall doll should hide a lot of secrets about that person's life. The storage ability of super elves is obvious to all. Maybe we can learn from it why North America wants to destroy mirrors. The secret of the lake. Me too, Wu Yuqian said an interesting sentence. The two looked at each other and smiled. Ha 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 ha. The demon wall doll, who was forcibly carried back by Smelly Ni and Smelly Ni, heard this laughter, and his body instantly tensed up. Please vote. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 710. Don't move, raise your hands. The magic wall doll raises its hands high, its slightly splayed feet, and the action of raising its hands, a bit like the character played by Teacher Pan in the movie Hands Up. The magic wall dolls panicked a lot. There is Duday on the left and dream-inducing Taper on the right. Behind them are a group of mountains of smelly mud and smelly mud. There are Salty Fish King, Big Beauty and Little Bangbao in the sky, and there are Kentaro, Geranium, Little Stinky Mud, etc. on the ground. They are all staring at the magic wall in front of them. Dolls. Moved. I don't dare to move at all. Loading. Under persecution. Whatever is hidden in your super space, hand it over. Yang Yu had no intention of talking nonsense with such a magic wall doll. The magic wall puppet looked confused. What is this person talking about? Say it again. Whatever is hidden in your super space, hand it over. Yang Yu's voice became fierce again. The magic wall puppet shrank its neck, looking extremely aggrieved. It pointed at its mouth, then gestured in the direction of Yang Yu, and quickly waved its hand to indicate that it did not understand what Yang Yu was talking about. Yang Yu. Reggie Rock stood up. I'll do it. Reggie Locke repeated what Yang Yu had just asked in Elvish language, and at the same time, he did not forget to indicate that he could use his fist to fire the electromagnetic gun. The demon wall doll shivered and nodded. I'll hand it over, I'll hand it over, I'll hand it over. When the magic wall puppet stretched its hand towards the big red spot on its body that resembled the center of a clown suit, all the elves were on alert. Magic wall doll. When the magic wall doll weakly took out a broom from the space on its body, for fear that Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian would not understand the function of this thing, it still took extremely careful small steps in place, and began to sweep. Stand up. Yang Yu. Wu Yuqian. There's something else. Yang Yu angrily wanted to have a 1v1 real person contest with the magic wall doll, where the magic wall doll was not allowed to take action. Reggie Locke increased the force of the electromagnetic gun's fist a little more. The magic wall doll quickly took out things one by one from his super storage space. First there was a huge wardrobe. The magic wall puppet took a lot of effort to get this wardrobe out. In order to avoid misunderstanding, the magic wall doll directly opened the large wardrobe, and even took off a low-necked backless skirt from it, thinking about it and presenting it to Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian. Yang Yu. Wu Yuqian? Do you really want to go to heaven? Yang Yu's tone suddenly began to calm down, but his eyes were full of murderous intent. Although the magic wall doll didn't understand what Yang Yu was talking about, but seeing the look in his eyes, he was so frightened that he dropped the dress directly on the ground. This situation was not right. In the past, the magic wall doll took out these clothes for the boyfriend of its former owner. At that time, the man was extremely happy. The magic wall doll quickly shook his head, continued, and started taking out items one by one. This time it was another huge box. After opening it, it was all women's underwear. You can even see several sets of black night tights. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqin looked at each other and wanted to push the magic wall doll to the ground and beat it up, but when they thought about the fact that the owner of the magic wall doll had been completely purified and disappeared by thunder, she was a woman. Trainer, there is nothing you can do about this. My head hurts. Another batch of perfume, then a bunch of cosmetics, and then jewelry, bracelets, diamond rings and other random things. Xiao Xianyi was very interested in these perfumes and cosmetics. After taking some, he smelled the fragrant smell and distributed them to all his tribesmen. These stinky mud started to boil immediately. Although the number of perfumes is incomparable to the number of smelly mud and smelly mud can squeeze each other and roll around to apply perfume. There is no spirit more united than stinky mud and stinky mud. There are so many humming things, women are really in trouble. There are so many clothes, so many cosmetics, so many perfumes, jewelry, designer bags, and so many clothes, my God. Ah, Yang Yu couldn't help but complain when he saw it. Yes, yes, yes. Wu Yuqin looked at it with deep feelings at this moment. Why does this person use dozens of bags? How many cabinets are there already? Mad, long live being single. The little dream demon likes shiny things like diamonds. The magic fairy stick that Master Gengui gave her in her hand also has many, many diamonds. How many cute little bucks can a diamond be exchanged for? What a hateful woman. She hides so many things and is so wasteful. If she gave it to little dream demon, she would have many, many V12 accounts. Boom. Boom. There was a sound in the venue that broke the little dream demon's heart. Well, it tastes good. Reggie Locke picked up a diamond and put it in his mouth to chew on it. The sound of thump, 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 thump in his mouth was extremely clear. It tastes much better than ordinary rocks. The little dream demon is about to shed tears. Little fist punch, punch your chest. If you eat again, if you don't recharge and deduct coins, you won't be recharged as a super member, huh? Just eat this one, just eat this one. Reggie Locke begged for mercy. After all, for Reggie Locke, super membership and deductions are more important things than diamonds. Yang Yu couldn't help laughing, but these diamonds. It is unrealistic to sell these diamond jewelry outside. They will be discovered by North America. Astrid disappears completely in the city in the sky. Naturally, it will be less troublesome, Wu Yuqin added. Yang Yu nodded and agreed very much. Little dream demon, if you take these things out to exchange for deduction coins, you will be in trouble. I will give you money when I go back. The little dream demon's eyes lit up. Being able to dig out a small amount of money from the owner is simply rarer than this diamond, and the little dream demon happily agreed. The mini dragon saw Reggie Locke eating with such gusto, so he found the largest diamond necklace and spit it out as soon as he put it in his mouth. My teeth are about to fall out. Hurry, take out all the things, don't watch the fun here. Yang Yu turned around and saw the magic wall puppet lazing down, and glared at it again. Now the magic wall puppet started to take out things in a panic. Come. Yang Yu extremely suspected that this magic wall doll was a tool doll. The four aspects of food, clothing, housing, and transportation are almost comprehensive. Seeing the somewhat familiar apron wrapped around the magic wall doll, Yang Yu even thought that the magic wall doll from Zai's house in the animation had come to the real world. The supervisor Yang Yu, who had no emotions, stared at what he took out from behind the magic wall doll. The further back you go, the greater the possibility of suspicious items appearing. Whether it was paper or other notebooks, as long as it was anything that could store information, Yang Yu couldn't miss it. Finally the final objects began to surface. There is actually a megastone here. When the first incredible elf prop appeared, Wu Yuqin's eyes widened for a moment, and he even rubbed them immediately, fearing that he had seen something wrong. Even before Wu Yuqin had time to react, Bai Diao behind him moved his eyes sharply and directly took the Mega Evolution Stone, which could cause fiery fluctuations of life energy in its body, from the hand of the demon wall doll with its sharp beak. Senior brother Jian, congratulations, Yang Yu's eyes also lit up. This Mega Stone was a trophy that he had never expected at all. I have to say that in the hands of this North American gym-level trainer, there is indeed something good thing. Junior brother Han, then I will accept it and give you money when I go back. Wu Yuqian was in a good mood, his joy was beyond words, and even his voice changed a little excitedly. Carving Mega Stone. This harvest was something I really didn't expect at all. Astrid's magic wall doll actually hides such a treasure that is priceless to Wu Yuqian. Senior brother Jian, we are here for double happiness. There is also a super evolution keystone here. Now you don't even need to look for the keystone. The smile on Yang Yu's face began to brighten. Wu Yuqian didn't know what to say anymore. Yang Yu's luck was caused by luck, and junior brother Madan said it was luck. With junior brother Han, Wu Yuqian felt that his luck had become even better. Wu Yuqian said, this woman is probably already preparing for the super evolution of one of the three Bosco Dora, Big Steel Snake or Bulbasaur. With her status in North America, it shouldn't be easy to obtain the Bulbasaur Megastone. It's difficult, but the Megastones of Boscordora and Big Steel Snake are really hard to find. Unless you encounter a secret realm like the World Center Island, you can't find them at all. Hold head high. Bai Diao started to get extremely hot-eyed. It can't wait to try the feeling of super evolution. In Wu Yuqian's team, the original strength of the giant claw mantis was obviously only at the mid-range level, but after obtaining the giant claw mantis megastone and keystone, it can mega-evolve into the super giant claw mantis. That strength makes Bai Diao do a little better. Tough. If it weren't for the fire-type hot wind move, it would be really difficult for Bai Diao to defeat the super giant pincer mantis. Now, the gym level Bai Diao already has a strong enough physique and strength to support the changes in his body after super evolution. All he needs is the Bai Diao Megastone and Keystone. This is why Bai Diao couldn't help but plunder the Megastone when he saw the Demon Wall doll take out the Bai Diao Megastone. Choo choo choo. The Juju fake Diao Ei little Juju excitedly jumped on Bai Diao's head, and the little Juju became even more awesome now. Bai Diao's eyes turned to the higher blue sky. The heart of a king, the fighting spirit. Junior brother Han, thank you, Wu Yuqian solemnly raised his hand. Senior brother Jian, no need, Yang Yu grinned, there is no need to say more about the friendship between fellow disciples. At this time, the magic wall doll took out an old and yellowed notebook. On the outside of the notebook, there seemed to be a bookmark made of a small maple leaf, which instantly attracted Yang Yu's attention. Wait, that's it? Please vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 711. The magic wall doll finally managed to stop. It looked at the mountains of things that were being moved out in front of it, and for the first time it felt that it could actually hide so much. Hurry, put your hands on your hips, or you won't have a chance later. The magic wall doll is still very aware of current affairs. Be very clear about your positioning. It is just a tool doll with no emotions. Sure enough, as soon as the demon wall doll put his hands on his waist, his hands and feet were immediately blocked by the smelly mud and smelly mud again. I don't move, I don't move, I don't dare to move. This notebook, why is it only half of it? Yang Yu very carefully asked Dede to use his superpower to slowly turn the pages, for fear that his hands would stain half of the yellowed notebook, which had some blurred writing. Yang Yu, what's written on this? Wu Yuqian sat down and his eyes fell on this half of the notebook. Reggie Locke, come and see what kind of language these pattern-like words on this are. Some places are a little blurry. Please pay more attention. When it comes to knowledge about the world, Reggie Locke naturally has an absolute advantage. Why do I feel like I have never seen the pattern on this before? When Reggie Locke saw it for the first time, his words made Yang Yu's expression darken. I'll take a closer look. Regirock's 7 orange crystal beads began to flash in sequence, which was a sign that Regirock's wisdom core was searching for ancient memories and thinking, just like the scrolling progress strip in a computer, waiting for a response. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqin looked at each other and did not disturb Reggie Locke. In terms of calculation and analysis capabilities, they are naturally not as good as Reggie Locke's wisdom core, and they may even be of help here. Rather than hindering Reggie Locke's analysis here, Yang Yu and Wu Yuqin should consider the remaining elves. Boss Cordera, Big Steel Snake, Bulbasaur, Swampert, Moon Eevee, and a Mimikyu that has been used as a scary toy by Little Dream Demon and Tijipai to scare Mini Dragon and Croaking Bubble Frog. Crag. Among the currently surviving elves, except for Moon Eevee, who is an elite level elf, the other 4 are all of gym level strength. There is also a gym level warrior eagle. Although it was picked up by the lightning bird somewhere, it is unknown. I have to admit that these powerful elves are still very tempting. The sucking golem cried and fainted on the stinky mud and stinky mud. This was a tool puppet. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqin almost ignored this guy at the same time. There was a mountain of stinky mud and stinky mud that pressed down on Boss Cordera, which was equivalent to cutting off the power supply of an electrical appliance that was about to explode. In the end, the metal explosion did not detonate Boss Cordera, so it was a lucky escape. Wu Yuqin's eyes fell on the 3 elves lying in the same area. Then Wu Yuqin seemed to feel deeply. He shook his head and sighed. Perhaps this is the tragedy of the elf not following the right master. If Boss Cordera wants to regain his strength, it will probably take a long time. The tail of Minus's move is like a high-pressure water jet, coupled with the wave of water. It's terrifying. De Maile's performance simply shocked Wu Yuqin's attention. If someone told Wu Yuqin that Minus was a special attack elf, and Wu Yuqin fought with that person every minute, was this a special attack elf? Being able to forcibly defeat the big steel snake and Boss Cordera with its water tail, this is clearly the violent physical attack Queen Minus. Wu Yuqin then thought about Yang Yu's special attack turret Salty Fish King that could transform into a scarlet Gyaradosaurus. In addition, this time he had awakened the evil attribute and became a real super scarlet Gyaradosaurus. At that time, Carp King and Ugly Fish, were they born into the wrong child? Isn't this so counterintuitive? The gentle and beautiful Minaz in front of Yang Yu and Wu Yuqin went crazy and smashed the opponent's head in seconds, and then this ferocious-looking Salted Fish King, I didn't feel that she was even more beautiful. Brutal. Who is the real cruelty? From now on, if Yang Yu sends out Minus with a smile in the battle between elves, which trainer would dare to underestimate Minus' violent physical attacks? Hiss. It is really too insidious, no, too strategic. Brother Qian, look, how about letting these elves rehabilitate themselves through labor here? After the big steel snake wakes up, it can dig holes to re-establish a brand new lake of mirrors near the area where Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud originally lived. The grass-type ability of Bulbasaur can help vegetation grow, and can even form a mutual help cycle with Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud. Yang Yu pondered for a while and spoke out bit by bit. At the same time, his eyes had also started to get brighter and brighter. Wu Yuqin was absolutely shocked by Yang Yu's idea, and Xiao Xianyi beside him, was also extremely excited. Yang Yu, what a genius idea! How did you come up with this idea? It's so awesome. Wu Yuqin patted Yang Yu's shoulder a little harder. Yo-oh. Yo-oh. Xiao Xianyi also imitated Wu Yuqin's behavior, but he patted Yang Yu's other shoulder. With Yang Yu's suggestion, Wu Yuqin's mind was spinning quickly, and he continued, the big steel snake can not only dig holes, but also form stable tunnels underground. It can also help Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud build bigger and better tunnels. The living area, the original Lake of Mirrors, is a little too small, and the residents of Smelly Ni and Smelly Ni are too crowded. Yo-oh. Yoahu. Xiao Xianyi couldn't agree more. The Swampert does physical work. Whether it's transportation or something else, with its strength, it's absolutely easy, Yang Yu said with a smile. Now the big steel snake, the giant Swampert, and the Bulbasaur are all here. I see that little stinky Ni likes to raise flowers. In this case, the Bulbasaur can be used to help build a flower base. Wu Yuqin turned around. He glanced at the little smelly mud. Little Smelly couldn't be happier. This feeling of being cared for is really great. Boscodora maybe needs to find a place to recover slowly. For such a serious collapse injury caused by a metal explosion, even life drops or healing waves have no effect, so it can only rely on itself to recover slowly. Yang Yu has already thought of a good place in his mind. Maybe, you can send it to the Bakar Tutegui. If anyone in North America wants to find traces of this Boscodora, be a Pokemon. There is everything in the dream. Senior brother Chien, does your grassland lack this big steel snake excavator? Yang Yu was not too fond of the big steel snake. Mainly due to restrictions, there is not such a free place to summon the big steel snake. If the Salted Fish King appears in the city, he can fly in the sky without damaging the city's ground. The big steel snake is different. Not only can it destroy the city ground, it can even crush all the cars on the road, smash a few traffic lights or collapse a few high-rise buildings. That's so humming terrible. If there were real estate developers, demolition offices, and demolition companies, big steel snake could be put to use. For Wu Yuqian, this big steel snake is very suitable. There are mines and prairie at home, and the big steel snake has a place to stay. It would be great to stay underground and look for coal mines and metal mines buried underground. How about handing it over to the country, sending it to the Gobi Desert, participating in the development of the Western region, and contributing to the construction of a beautiful Western region? These are all very good ideas. This is a gym-level steel snake, Wu Yuqian couldn't help but say. The gym-level big steel snake, is it important? I really won't be able to use it anyway, and I don't like the big steel snake. A big one like the Salted Fish King is enough. Yang Yu waved his hand. We'll talk about this later. Let's let the big steel snake rebuild the Lake of Mirrors here first. Wu Yuqian declined politely. He got the Bidio Mega Stone and the Keystone. The benefits are already big enough. Just be content with what you have. Good. I thought of it. Reggie Locke's voice gave Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian a huge surprise. The person who wrote this note is left-handed. The way of recording notes is also very unique. Perhaps it is a unique habit. When recording, I am used to writing from the lower right corner of the paper. All letters and words are written backwards. Let the magic wall doll create an air wall to form a mirror. Through mirror reflection, you can find the answer. Reggie Locke's voice is sonorous and powerful. Magic wall doll, Sigma, degree. What do you want to do? You have to come over. I surrender. Degree. Recommended book, new book by PM's top quality veteran author Iron Legs, the King of the Age of Elves. The best PM article about the elf world in 2020. Want to see the bonding process between a trainer and an elf? Want to see a battle and encounter between a trainer and a mythical beast? Do you want to watch a trainer grow from weak to strong during the journey, from one gym to another gym, one region to another region, and step by step onto the peak stage of a trainer? If you want to read it, click on this book. Here is what you want to read. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 712. It is indeed a tool doll. He quickly created an air wall, and then lit up a mirror reflection. For fear of being scolded again, he quickly ran over holding the newly made mirror. Then he was ruthlessly blocked by the dream-inducing taper. TT. The magic wall puppet raised its hands and disarmed and surrendered again. It's really just a tool doll. Before the tears could fall, he was grabbed back again by the smelly mud and the smelly mud. Weak, pitiful, helpless. After Yang Yu got the new mirror, he and Wu Yuqian sat down and studied the words on the half notebook. Just like exploring a magical code, Yang Yu vaguely remembered that the way of recording text in this notebook was very similar to that of a great master, Leonardo da Vinci. The manuscript left by Leonardo da Vinci is in the same situation as it is now. He was also left-handed and recorded in the same way. The only difference is the position of the first letter on the paper. This way of revealing secrets is tense and exciting, just like the adventure book Adventure Tigers I read when I was a child, using the tools I already have at hand to unlock an unknown secret. Gate of Life? Gate of Life, Wu Yuqian was surprised and unsure. Now that we have found the correct answer, Reggie Locke, what does the vague writing on it say specifically? Yang Yu pondered slightly and motioned for Reggie Locke to help translate. Humans are indeed a magical species full of wisdom. Reggie Locke's eyes flickered for a while. This is the secret about the evolution of elves' life levels. It records the reasons for the evolution of elves, natural selection, and survival of the fittest. Also mentioned is the importance of the door of life. Open the door to life and explore the secret of life from the door of life. In addition to the known 3 holy pillars, 3 holy birds, 3 holy beasts and other elves in the elven world, is there also the Lord of the world who has reversed the world? Giratina, if one day the elven world riots again, will humans be able to withstand the attack of the powerful elves? Exploring the ultimate of life, perhaps, the gate of life will give us the answer. The back part is gone. Pages 3, 4, 6, and 9 are missing in the middle. The remaining pages are 10 in total. Reggie Locke wanted to tear the yellowed notebook into pieces. In the history of the elf world, there have been 2 world wars. Which one was not caused by humans? Worrying about elf riots, to put it nicely, while elves are helping humans, whether in medical treatment or social security, they are also worried about humans from behind. Attack, isn't this an idiot? I'm trying to commit suicide by complaining about the injustice of the world, ha. This was the first time that Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian saw the furious rock god Pillar Regirock, the patron saint of the elven world. Their voices were full of grief, anger, and helplessness. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian patted Reggie Locke's shoulders at the same time. Little Dream Demon, Tijipai, and Mini Dragon heard Reggie Locke's sadness and quickly picked up a lot of diamond jewelry to comfort Reggie Locke. No matter what, there is always some evil, but this world is still beautiful and worthwhile. Yang Yu comforted. Wu Yuqian picked up Xiao Ziani from his side and let his figure appear in Reggie Locke's sight. Look, there are still many things in this world that need you to protect, and life will always move in a positive direction. Yo. Xiao Ziani waved his hands. You see that Xiao Ni are working hard to protect their beautiful home, so what else can stop you from loving this elf world? Little Dream Demon, Tijipai, and Mini Dragon also handed diamond jewelry in front of Reggie Locke. The Little Dream Demon touched Reggie Locke's shoulder. Don't be sad, I'll go back and renew your super membership and recharge and deduct coins for you. Reggie Locke tilted his head and gave a rare smile. Perhaps this is something more precious than diamonds, thank you. Sometimes, carrying the title of patron saint is really tiring. Don't put too much pressure on me. We are all here. If there is evil in the world, then find a way to kill it and purify it completely. Yang Yu smiled, as long as you have a clear conscience. Wu Yuqian then said, the gate of life mentioned above, is it the mirror gate in Lake of Mirrors? So these North American trainers want to find it. By the way, Yang Yu, you haven't told me what happened in the mirror gate. What exactly did you see inside? Is there really a secret to life? Yang Yu smiled, I've already seen the lightning bird, is there any secret left? Wu Yuqian shook his head, with an expression like I don't have much education, don't lie to me, if there is no secret, how can you find a backer like Zone Menghao? If Lightning Bird is your backer, this is impossible. You also saw the Lightning Bird in the secret realm, so. Senior brother Jian, stop talking, you exposed me without even getting warm. Yang Yu waved his hand and smiled, and then his tone became mysterious. Let me give it a try. Senior brother Jian will know when the time comes to see you. What secrets are there? You won't believe it until you see it with your own eyes. Ho ho, so mysterious. When the time comes, I want to see what junior brother Meng, the backing section, saw inside. Wu Yuqian laughed. This time in the Sky City, so far, the harvest has been well worth the trip. Wu Yuqian felt the clothes on his shoulders being tugged. He turned around and saw Bai Diao's eager and resentful eyes, which made Wu Yuqian couldn't help but laugh. He hurriedly said, Yang Yu, I'll take you with you first. The super Bai Diao Lulu, ha ha ha, the super evolved Bai Diao. I know, let's go, you're a super male god, Yang Yu joked teasingly. With the Bai Diao Megastone and the Keystone, Wu Yuqian temporarily asked the Dream Taper to make a mega bracelet. He only needed to securely lock the two stones. After leaving the secret realm and returning, he would make a newer one. A more refined and luxurious mega bracelet. Bai Diao, Mega Evolution. Hold head high. Yang Yu turned around and looked at Wu Yuqian, who was holding the mega bracelet as if he had transformed into a concave and convex man, and shook his head with a smile. If you don't hit the target, you will waste your youth. Thinking about myself, well, I am almost 21 years old. Although I have matured a lot, I am still quite middle class. How are you now? Do you feel better? Yang Yu looked at Reggie Locke, who was accompanied by Little Dream Demon, Tijipai and Mini Dragon, and asked. Reggie Locke nodded. It was in a much better mood. After all, the elven world is worthy of care and protection. Not for anything else, just for this group of lovely people and lovely elves. With faith, the existence of the rock god pillar has its own meaning. Reggie Locke still had some thoughts to say. This broken notebook, the 4 pages missing in the first half, and the missing chapters at the back, what kind of secrets can there be in it? Yang Yu looked at the demon wall puppet that was motionless being grabbed by the smelly mud, and smiled. The youngest gym-level trainer in North America mysteriously disappeared in the secret realm of Sky City, will inevitably cause an uproar in North America. At that time, it will be like a stone thrown into a calm lake. There are some secrets, and we don't even have to look for them ourselves, they will surface naturally. Reggie Locke nodded. Some of the wisdom of his current master really made Reggie Locke feel incredible. I'll think about things outside after I get out, but now. Yang Yu smiled happily. He thought of the arrangements for this magic wall puppet in the secret realm. Why did he ignore this elf before? The air wall made by the magic wall doll can be used to build a glass thermal shed. It is also a very good idea to build several thermal shed bases near the Lake of Mirrors. Well, it is indeed a tool doll with no emotions. Please vote. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Shao. Chapter 713. Night at the Third Mirror Lake in the Sky City. You can see the most perfect starry sky here. Boss Cordera, Big Steel Snake, Bulbasaur, Swampert, and Moon Eevee, these 5 elves formed a lonely circle. They are still not relieved in their hearts. Well. Bulbasaur looked at the bonfire in the center with a very disappointed expression, curling up his limbs, not at all as high-spirited as a gym-level elf. Even, there is a feeling that the sun is setting over the mountains and that I am getting old. The most seriously injured Boscodora just held his hands on the huge wound under his chest. Although its breathing had stabilized, the pain was still unavoidable. Ease. The magic wall doll should be the only elf who is not particularly disappointed. After all, the elf's temperament is like this. He is a bit optimistic, and he is a tool doll with no emotions. The magic wall puppet is holding a huge dinner plate in its hand. It belongs to the big steel snake. There are many steel and rock blocks on it. Winky face, =3=3=3. After putting down the dinner plates, the magic wall puppet continued to return and place their respective dinner plates in front of the 5 elves in order. However, these 5 elves still left 3 vacancies. One is for the warrior eagles. One is for the magic wall doll. The last one is for Mimi QQ. The magic wall doll still hasn't forgotten the warrior eagle and Mimi QQ, and has prepared their own food in their empty seats. But only the position that belonged to their former owner is no longer there. I saw that my plate was full of things I liked to eat before, but I still had no appetite. The magic wall doll sat down in his seat, and after taking a bite, he looked at the dejected friends around him with some embarrassment, and the movements of his hands also slowed down. Air dash. The magic wall doll put his dinner plate on the ground first, waved his arms in the direction in front of these elves, and communicated with them in the form of pantomime. This is what the magic wall doll is best at. The big steel snake glanced at the magic wall puppet who was performing like a clown, and then continued to focus on the bonfire. Its deep red pupils also had its own confusion. Did they really do something wrong? The patterns on Moon Evie's body complemented each other with the starlight in the sky. It raised its head and looked at the incomparably beautiful starry sky and the crescent moon. It had not experienced such natural beauty for a long time. When it calmed down and looked at the mirror lake not far away, Moon Evie roared twice. This is the most beautiful night view by the Lake of Mirrors. The body of the big steel snake slowly moved towards the direction of the Lake of Mirrors. At this moment, looking at the reflection of the stars in the lake, the glittering light was reflected on the body of the big steel snake, which was like sinking silver. The big steel snake is even a little crazy. Oh dash. The big steel snake turned back and motioned to his friends to come here to see the beautiful scenery of the mirror lake. Click, click, click. Boss Cordero was in pain and could not walk with his own power. However, a vine whip appeared on Bulbasaur's back, trying to drag Boss Cordero back. At this moment, Swampert opened his arms and the bulging muscles in his arms lifted the heavy Boscodora in one fell swoop. The magic wall doll signaled his friends to finish their dinner first, but none of the elves listened to it. Magic wall doll, degree. Helpless, I could only put down the plate in my hand and follow suit. Swampert steadily placed the injured and immobile Boscodora on the shore of the lake, and Bulbasaur also put away her vine whip. Cough, click. Boscodora wanted to thank him, but his voice was very hoarse. Swampert and Bulbasaur shook their heads, saying no need to thank them, and motioned for Boscodora to take a good rest. These elves unanimously looked at this peaceful mirror lake. This is the Lake of Mirrors that their masters want them to destroy. In the Lake of Mirrors, the stars are brilliant, and the beauty of the night sky is reflected perfectly in the lake. Not to mention, these elves can also see their own reflections in the clear water of the Lake of Mirrors. This is the Lake of Mirrors that their master wants to destroy. At this moment, no matter it was the big steel snake or Boscodora, whether it was Swampert or Bulbasaur, including Eevee Moon and the wall doll, they were all deeply fascinated by the scene in front of them. At the same time, repentance began in my heart. This is the original kindness of the elves, the first kind heart towards this beautiful elven world. Once upon a time, such beauty was almost destroyed in their hands. If the Lake of Mirrors is destroyed, then here, we will no longer have such a beautiful night sky scene, and we will no longer be able to see such a clear reflection of ourselves. This world will have one less beautiful place and one more trace of sin. Oh dash. How much the big steel snake hopes to see the figure of the warrior eagle and the little Mimi QQ here. However, when it wakes up after being defeated, There are two missing people around them. Partner. Cough, cough. Well then. Woo dash. Hoo. The four elves, Boss Cordera, Bulbasaur, Eevee Moon, and Swampert, together with the big steel snake, let out an extremely miserable cry. Not for the master who has disappeared, but for the former partners who have passed away, the warrior eagle, Mimikyu. Q. Lu. Ahaha. The demon wall dolls waved their hands in panic, signaling them not to be like this and not to be so sad. However, when those 5 pairs of cold and angry eyes stared at the demon wall dolls, they instantly caused countless critical strikes. If looks could kill elves, the wall doll would have died 5 times. The demon wall doll looked at these 5 pairs of terrifying eyes, and his head went blank for a moment. Everything he wanted to say later was forgotten. What does it want to say? The warrior eagle has not yet fallen. Good on. The magic wall doll felt so wronged, and the tool doll was about to cry. TT. Suddenly, in this quiet piece of grass, there seemed to be a rustling sound, as if something small was approaching sneakily. Although the combat capabilities of the gym-level elves such as Big Steel Snake, Boss Cordera, and Bulbasaur have been damaged, their instinct to detect movement in the environment still exists. In the clear mirror lake, a strange reflection appeared. A bit like Pikachu, but at night, this elf has a very weird smile. Poppy. At this moment, when these 5 elves with extremely piercing eyes saw Mimikyu's rags, their eyes instantly felt like winter had passed, spring had melted, the ice had melted, and there was only an unspeakable feeling in their eyes. Delighted and moved. This Mimikyu is naturally disguised by Little Dream Demon and Tijipai. As long as this piece of rag is around, Mimikyu will reawaken in the future. In this extremely sad environment, this little dream monster and Mimikyu pretending to be Tijipai have the ability to melt the effect of a heart of cold steel. Will steel elves like Big Steel Snake and Boss Cordera shed tears? The answer is, of course, yes. This is a hope. Although this Mimikyu looks awkward, in any case, with this piece of painted skin rag, there is hope that Mimikyu can be resurrected in the future. Oh. Well then. The heart-touching cheers rippled through the calm surface of the Lake of Mirrors. The demon wall doll wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. What does it want to say? This is what it wants to say. The warrior eagle did not die. It watched with its own eyes as the warrior eagle was rescued by a terrifying golden bird with lightning sizzling from its body. The magic wall doll thought about what he wanted to say, and felt that something was not quite right. The bird that could sizzle and emit lightning, wouldn't it electrocute the warrior eagle? No no no. No, no, no. The warrior eagle must still be alive. This is the elf. Wu Yuqian looked at the bustling venue and couldn't help but feel filled with emotion. Yang Yu agreed, yes, these are elves, as long as you treat them well, they will follow willingly and even put their lives in the hands of the trainer. If the trainer has evil intentions, then the elves are also evil. Yes, if the trainer has good intentions, the elves will also be kind. It's a pity that they followed the wrong owner. Wu Yuqian still felt a little regretful, especially for that Boscodora. He was so seriously injured that he couldn't even take care of himself. This is absolutely a huge disaster for a heavy steel elf. Everything will be fine. Since you have done something wrong, you have to pay the price. Now I hope they can cooperate and build a brand new Lake of Mirrors together. Yang Yu looked at the man wearing Mimikyu rags and said, Tijipai and Little Dream Demon, who had easily penetrated into the inside of those elves, shook their heads in confusion. Destiny European Emperor. A huge mountain towering into the sky. There are layers of clouds and fog here. On one of the mountain tops, the warrior eagle, who was unconscious due to exertion, opened his eyes with difficulty. There was darkness in front of him, except for the starry sky. Is heaven? The warrior eagle feels the extremely sore wings. Why is there still pain in heaven? Where is this? The warrior eagle found in front of him a broken branch with several fruits that he had never seen before. I felt the thirst in my mouth and the hunger in my belly. The warrior eagle carefully pecked one of them. The taste was very strange. After entering the stomach, a surge of energy flowed through the warrior eagle's body almost instantly. It was like an electric shock, stimulating its painful body. An idea flashed through the mind of the warrior eagle. Who I am? I am, the warrior eagle. Pain is the best motivation. I don't know how high the mountain is, but the warrior eagle is still fearless and jumps down. It has lost its owner. In other words, I completely severed all ties with that person. But, it hasn't lost its mate yet. Big steel snake, Boscordera, Bulbasaur, Swampert, Moon Eevee, Waldal, and Mimikyu. Hold head high. This is the warrior eagle. On the mountain peak where the warrior eagle is located, and even higher, under the night sky, a black figure slowly appears on the highest peak. The electric light flashes, and the golden electric light makes the mystery appear. Lightning Bird. Please vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 714. Early the next morning, when the first ray of sunlight in the Sky City shone on the shores of Mirror Lake, the mighty army on the ground had already begun to move towards the Mirror Lake that needed to be rebuilt. For Xiao Ni and Xiao Ni, this is not only a homecoming, but also a home expansion and renovation. Even the atmosphere flowing on the ground is a lot more cheerful. Rebuilding the Lake of Mirrors is a huge project. Yang Yu has already told these elves who need to undergo reform through labor about their mission this time. Not a single elves, including the big steel snake, expressed objections. In other words, they have no right to object. Minas, flying slowly in the air, brought a huge psychological shadow to the big steel snake, Boscordera, and Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur didn't even block a move, and the steel snake's steel hard head there was an X-shaped scar mark on his body, and Boscodora's injuries were even more serious. The beautiful girl was in a good mood at this time, like a little girl humming and jumping around, and the violent Queen Minas who was showing off her power before, they were like two extremes. After the macro character deck on the Salted Fish King's back grew again, Yang Yu could sit more steadily, stretched out his hands to support the deck, and flew safer in the air. This time, it's a rewarding experience. When Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud returned to their original territory, which was the ruined area of the original Lake of Mirrors that they had built over the years, the big steel snakes and the others were silent. Only after seeing it with your own eyes and comparing the two mirror lakes can you understand that once some beautiful things are destroyed, it is difficult to restore them to their original state. Regirock, have you analyzed the specific plan to develop the Lake of Mirrors? Has been completed. It is a huge project to introduce the pure groundwater under the ground where Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud originally lived into the newly built Mirror Lake. Try not to make any mistakes, Yang Yu said. Understood. The underground passage was dug by the big steel snake, the stable foundation of the Lake of Mirrors was built by the Swampert, and Bulbasaur helped protect the nearby vegetation while moving some of the original vegetation to new places. Regirock briefly told part of the plan. Wu Yuqian answered confidently, King Dude and the dream-inducing taper are on hand to maintain the safety of the surface. Don't worry, I guarantee there will be no problem. Yang Yu and Dede made an okay gesture together. All the elves of senior brother Jian also joined in the task of rebuilding the Lake of Mirrors. Yo! Little Smelly and I fully agreed to build a new Lake of Mirrors. In this way, the newly built Lake of Mirrors will be next door to the Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud groups. In the future, there will be a brand new Lake of Mirrors that will attract more and more other elves. From now on, Stinky Mud and Stinky Mud can also live in harmony with other elves. Now that everyone is ready, let's get started. Yang Yu took a deep breath. This huge and meaningful project can finally start. This is the first time that Yang Yu has been the chief engineer for building a new lake. This feeling of holding great power, especially when announcing the beginning of a major event, does have the meaning of guiding the country. Rebuild the Lake of Mirrors, start now. In the reserved site that Reggie Locke had planned, the big steel snake immediately started digging holes under the ground. Which company has the best excavator technology? Elf Animation is looking for Xiaogang. I heard that digging holes and straight drills are more suitable for digging soil. The effect of the move is similar to the cyclone-charged tornado. The rotating body of the big steel snake is equipped with a straight drill while digging holes, making digging easier. Yang Yu only felt that after a few seconds, the big steel snake dug a huge hole in the field. This innate ability is common for the big steel snake. It is not too simple. Damn it, if we dig at this speed, if we go faster, we can build it in one day. Yang Yu looked at it and was speechless. The speed at which the big steel snake burrowed into the ground was unbelievable. Yang Yu, don't forget the speed of our country. Whether it's building hospitals, building high-speed railways, or building these basic facilities, no country or region can match us. Wu Yuqian said this with a smile on his face, full of pride. The big steel snake is a very important type of elf in our country's elf alliance. Even in the society, real estate companies have preferential treatment with high salaries for trainers who have the big rock snake elf. Even the companies will provide huge benefits. The elf resources to help the trainer's big rock snake evolve. Yang Yu nodded without any doubt. Seeing it with your own eyes, this is the place where you can feel the power most. Bulbasaur began to use the grass field to help transplant the saplings in the original field. Under the grass field, these trees can be guaranteed to survive perfectly and even grow better. What's more important is that at this time, little stinky mud is right next to the flower on the back of this Bulbasaur flower. This is an excellent partner. Yang Yu's eyes lit up. The combination of little stinky mud and Bulbasaur. This will make the soil in the grass field more fertile. At the same time, little stinky mud can use Bulbasaur's grass field moves to better grasp the power of the grass type. Indeed, little stinky Ni's grass type power is derived from it. In this aspect, with the help of Bulbasaur, we can understand it more thoroughly. Wu Yuqian was thoughtful. It seems like this Bulbasaur has been spotted by little stinky Ni. Will it be used as a mount on land in the future? It feels good, Yang Yu laughed. There was a giant swamp monster moving the excavated soil to an open space not far from the planned site of the Lake of Mirrors. Here, the magic wall doll had already begun to work smoothly. Build a glass thermal shed. Tropical Dragon and Geranium help the magic wall puppet here with Divine Whip, and the glass greenhouse can be built faster and easier. Oh, 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 oh. Before the soil is sent to the greenhouse, a lot of smelly mud turns into sludge and flows back and forth here. The purpose is to make the land here have more fertility. This is the most basic common sense and principle among the smelly mud and smelly mud tribe. Some Zayuni, who had no experience in growing flowers, easily learned the planting skills under the influence of some older Zayunini. Stinky mud and stinky mud are lonely. I hope that after this place is rebuilt, they can meet more other elves, so that they can also feel the feeling of embracing various elves. Let me hug the mud. The activity of rebuilding the Lake of Mirrors was in full swing. Together with the dream-inducing taper, Dede sat on the back of little Bayo and entered the underground. Although he wanted to supervise the big steel snake, more importantly, he had to consider the lower tunnel. Ruggedness. Under the erosion of running water, if some places are not strong enough, the ground will collapse, which is absolutely unacceptable to Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian. This is not to judge a gentleman with a villain's heart, but to put safety factors first. After all, there are so many stinky mud and stinky mud on the side to help. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian must keep them safe. The big steel snake has nothing else on his mind now. It has learned that the warrior eagle did not fall, but was rescued by another flying elf, and that the elf who rescued the warrior eagle was the guardian of the sky, the lightning bird. This news was told to it by the Tijipai. The big steel snake may not trust Yang Yu or Wu Yuqian, but it absolutely trusts Tijipai in its heart. Maybe it won't be long before we can see the warrior eagle soaring in the sky, right? The big steel snake slightly readjusted its angle to a head-up position, and it was time to return directly upwards to land. Hold head high. In the sky, a bird song sounded like thunder. At this moment, almost all the elves in the area of rebuilding Mirror Lake were attracted by this high-pitched and passionate cry, especially Boss Cordera, Bulbasaur, Swamp Monster, Moon Eevee, and Demon Wall Puppet. It's it, it's it, it's it. The warrior eagle is back. Hold head high. Bai Diao was eager to take off for a fight at this moment, but Xiao Juju was still on its head. In this short period of time, Wu Yuqian reacted and stopped Bai Diao in advance. Now is not the time to fight against the warrior eagle. It suffered a big mental blow yesterday and is exhausted. Even now, it has come all the way and is in no good condition. If it wants to fight, it will win without force. When it fully recovers, let's fight the warrior eagle openly and openly, Wu Yuqian said very calmly and methodically. Bai Diao nodded immediately, but his eyes were still full of strong fighting intent. If it takes action this time, as Wu Yuqian said, the warrior eagle will definitely not fully recover its strength. Even if Bai Diao wins, it will not admit it. Oh dash. In this site waiting to be excavated, the body of the big steel snake broke out of the ground. He raised his head and looked at the warrior eagle soaring in the sky. He was extremely excited. Very good. Hold head high. The warrior eagle did not show any hostility, only the joy of seeing its companions was in its eyes. When flying down, it did not choose to dive, but began to slowly reduce its flying speed. The situation on its body had reached an overload state, but this time it's all worth it. It's really great to meet my friends. The underground tunnel has been easily solved, but the details still need to be handled carefully. If there can be a timely rain. Hold head high. Rumble, rumble, rumble. A shining figure bursting with explosive light, accompanied by dense dark clouds, the lightning bird, came with a thunderstorm. This world needs a happy and joyful roar. An unexpected blue figure rose into the sky like lightning. In an instant, the dense dark clouds in the sky, along with the rumbling thunder and lightning, were all absorbed into the light. Sigma, oh. Oh. Lightning bird? Salted fish king. The dark clouds in the sky lost the blessing of the power of thunder, and seemed to be about to disperse. Hold head high. Lightning bird once again injected powerful thunder power into the dark clouds. The dark clouds are thick and dense again. Roar. Just a few seconds after the dark clouds had not been contaminated by the terrifying power of thunder, they were forcibly attracted by the salted fish king again. The dark clouds began to dissipate calmly again. Lightning bird? The lightning bird, don't want to lose face? Get out of here, you bastard. Didn't you see that labor and management are going to have a thunderstorm? Salted fish king, no. No. Please vote. Pokemon's character master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 715. Lightning bird, I have never seen such a shameless fish. Lightning bird has seen this giant Gyarados before. When the lightning bird struck the world with shocking thunder before purifying the evil in the world, I had seen this giant Gyarados perform terrifying electric moves. If it guessed correctly, it should also be this giant Gyarados that woke it up in the thunderclouds with a shocking thunder in the path of electricity somewhere. This was supposed to be a relatively friendly meeting, but now, the lightning bird just wanted to drop a thunderbolt to kill this shameless salted fish king. But when he thought that the previous two thunders that were enough to call for a thunderstorm were completely absorbed by this giant Gyarados directly from the thundercloud layer, lightning bird felt his eyelids twitching. Why, the lightning bird is here to help bring down the rain. Let the rain clean this pure land and serve as timely rain to rebuild the lake of mirrors, not here to be a rain girl. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian, who were looking up at the sky below, were dumbfounded. Was this going to face the lightning bird head on? Awesome. Wu Yuqian no longer knew how to describe Yang Yu's salted fish king. He ran to the lightning bird to store electricity. There is no one in the world who can do this. Already. Please be like a water and flying elf. Please give the electric attribute some face. The electric salted fish king does whatever he wants. This is embarrassing. Judging from the appearance of the lightning bird, it must be asking for rain. If it rains at this time, it can clean the new mirror lake that has not yet been completely rebuilt. When the water of the mirror lake is completely pure, even if it is truly it was successful, Yang Yu guessed the lightning bird's intention, but... Salted fish king, come down quickly. Come down here quickly. Dada scratched the back of his head. He seemed to be unable to reach such a high sky and summon Xian Xian back. Yi, the beauty's bright eyes were full of energy. This is the real salted fish king. He can do things that she, the beauty, can't do. How can he be so handsome? Seeing the scene of the explosion of electric power in the sky, the warrior eagle was frightened and at the same time showed the highest admiration for the direction of the lightning bird. The strength of the lightning bird is a height that the gym-level warrior eagle may not be able to reach in his lifetime, not to mention that the one who brought the warrior eagle to the top of those mountains is one of the 3 holy birds of the elf world. The guardian of the sky lightning bird. This is a journey of spiritual rebirth. Yo! Xiao Ni opened his mouth wide and looked at this extremely spectacular scene in the sky. He had never seen an elf confronting the lightning bird in the secret realm of the Sky City. This is the sacred bird in the secret realm of Sky City. Strength, in short, it is much, much, much more powerful than the little smelly mud. Now, the most terrifying electric power of lightning bird was actually ineffective against that giant Gyarados. Lightning bird has countless MMPs in his heart that he wants to scold. Is this still the Gyarados it knows? In the past years, Zapdos has not hacked Gyarados. Mater himself looked for lightning to attack Gyarados and responded with a look of labor and management that was in need of chopping. This is the first time that Zapdos has seen it. How come there is such a perverted Gyarados that is not afraid of electricity in the elf world? Now it's not a question of whether Lightning Bird wants to fight the Salted Fish King. The problem is that most of Lightning Bird's moves tend to be terrifying electric power. Anyway, Lightning Bird can see clearly and clearly. A giant Gyarados. Think of it as a super battery. Damn it! This time the Sky City came to Mount Fuji in Sakura country. The Lightning Bird also shouldered a more important task and had to preserve enough strength. All in all, the giant Gyarados in front of me looks like an elf from the chaotic good camp. Simply an evil gangster. Hold head high. Zapdos had no choice but to use its roar. MMP, he didn't want to fight this giant Gyarados, but there was no way to cure the Salted Fish King, so he had to use his roar. This is definitely one of the biggest shames of Zapdos history. However, something happened that made Lightning Bird even more desperate. Roar. The Salty Fish King made a shocking noise with one move, directly covering up the roar of the Lightning Bird. This picture now has a feeling of it's useless even if the Lightning Bird breaks its throat. Lightning Bird. Can we play happily together? Do labor and management have any grudge against you? The Salty Fish King's beard twitched. Such a good super mobile power bank, not much to say, just greedy. Bind a Lightning Bird, and the Salted Fish King no longer has to worry about thunderstorms. The Lightning Bird had no choice but to wave its wings to signal the Salted Fish King to go away quickly and not to prevent it from raining. The dark clouds in the sky are almost gone. Lightning Bird gave the Salted Fish King a look and motioned to the dark clouds in the sky. You can do it, I'm quitting. How could the salted fish king say no? Isn't it just asking for rain? Just send a ball of thunder to the dark clouds. A ball of thunder gathered in the salty fish king's huge mouth and was sent into the dark clouds. Soon, the dark clouds gathered again. That's it, that's all. All that could be seen was a ball of thunderballs forming a dense grid in the dark clouds. There was no sound of thunder, and there was no sign of a drop of rain falling. Roar! The sky shook again, and the salted fish king prayed for rain, with the sound of thunder. The salted fish king discovered that even though there was thunder but it still didn't rain, the only thing he could do was. Did you use a water gun? The original return to the super-evolved salted fish king not only gained the power of the evil system, but also gave the salted fish king more power of the water system. It's just that, salty fish king, who has rarely used water-based breathing moves, can only use water guns. An emotionless water gun fell from the sky, as if God had made a huge joke. Where could the rain and dew get evenly stained? The salted fish king stopped the water gun while making thunder. After the thunder began to rumble, he quickly connected the water gun again. Coupled with the lightning and thunder in the dark clouds, it was still quite impressive. Are you sure you're not performing stand-up comedy? Rainfall, it's the first time I've seen it rain like this. Lightning Bird felt that he had been hit by the salty fish king's intelligence. It's simply an intellectual insult. Only Yang Yu, who was on the ground, couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth when he saw the salty fish king's actions, and then spat out a few words. As expected of the salted fish king. Isn't it? Back in the shallow water area of Ocean Park No. 2, when Yang Yu was holding a toy water gun to teach the water elf how to use the water gun, he was still the salted fish king in the state of carp king. He even swallowed the water, and all he could do was spit bubbles. Bubble. This is clearly trying to embarrass me, the salted fish king. This is the first time I have seen such rainfall in 26 years. Wu Yuqian said to Yang Yu solemnly, and then suddenly fell down laughing. Sorry, I just can't bear it anymore, ha 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 ha. Who is not the same? However, at this time, when Mele and Dada were preparing to take off to help the salted fish king pray for rain, Tijapai's fingers had already begun to shake towards the sky. Poppy. Zhyla. The salted fish king was concentrating on his rain-seeking ceremony. Suddenly, when he heard a lightning strike from the dense dark clouds in the sky, raindrops began to fall drop by drop. It started to get bigger. Lightning Bird's eyes fell on the little Tijapai on the ground with a look of surprise. However, at this time, the salted fish king looked up suspiciously at the entire sky where rain was falling. Could it be that my disdainful efforts moved God? It turns out that I am already so awesome. Praying for rain, humph, that's all. The salted fish king raised his eyebrows at the lightning bird. He didn't notice that there was an elf on the ground helping him, and thought it was due to his Tiangziu operation. Lightning bird. The rain washes away this future pure land. After a long drought comes the rain, mother. Please vote. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 716. Zapdos once again exerted a begging rain. This rain will last for a long time. Only enough rain can help the Lake of Mirrors completely fill up with clean water. By then, the Lake of Mirrors will be completely rebuilt. Hold head high. It is not advisable to stay here for a long time. The moment lightning struck down from the sky, the lightning bird flashed and turned into lightning, almost merging with the lightning. Covered by the shape of this lightning. Slipping away, slipping away. Salted Fish King? What about lightning birds? Is there such an operation? Damn it! There was no longer a powerful elf aura in the sky, only the thunder was still rumbling in the sky and the rain was beginning to get heavier. The salted fish king was unwilling to let the lightning bird escape so easily with the help of the lightning in the sky. Although some of these lightnings belonged to the lightning bird, they were transformed into his own electric power by the salted fish king. After all, it was the salted fish king who performed it himself. Damn it, damn it! Roar! The lightning bird heard the roaring sound that was very clear in the whole world, and his face was not good looking. This damn Gyarados was simply bullying the bird too much. I was so proud of my all-powerful appearance wherever I went, whether it was the thunderous wings or the tail feathers, shining with golden light, but one day. Why did it become a protective color? Without the cover of lightning, Lightning Bird felt that he really couldn't escape. But Lightning Bird put away all the irritability in his body. He had more important things to do, and he couldn't let this matter affect his mentality. The flame bird sleeping in the volcano Mount Fuji. Time to pick it up and bring it back. Hold head high. The figure of the lightning bird disappeared in the mist of the clouds. It's incredible that Lightning Bird is not angry. This is different from the situation recorded by the Elf Alliance. Lightning Bird has a particularly bad temper. In such a situation, it didn't actually start a fight with the salted fish king. Wu Yuqian was slightly surprised. Maybe it's because we are doing good things in the Sky City? The lightning bird is one of the 3 holy birds. As the guardian of the sky, its heart should be as clear as a mirror like the lake of mirrors, Yang Yu guessed. Perhaps before he finished speaking, Yang Yu sighed and added, "It would be great if we could fight. The salted fish king is only 1 step away from the heavenly king level." Wu Yuqian? Junior brother Han, are you starting to be rude again? In his normal state, Salty Fish King's strength should be almost at the level of a quasi-king. Red Lotus transformed into Scarlet Gyarados, and after fighting Mega in the water gym, it is not a problem to have a Super Swampert with king-level combat power. This time, the original awakening of evil power, the original super evolved form, the Super Scarlet Gyarados. Damn it! Wu Yuqian thought about it carefully. Yang Yu, the youngest gym-level trainer in China, seemed to be about to become the youngest king-level trainer? I'm a turtle. What's wrong, senior brother Qian? Yang Yu looked at Wu Yuqian's expression inexplicably as if he could swallow a whole egg. What happened? Yang Yu, should I call you Yang Tianwang, or Han Tianwang, or Meng Tianwang? Wu Yuqian cupped his hands. Disrespectful, disrespectful. What a mess, I'm just a small gym-level trainer, Heavenly King, how can I be so early? Although Yang Yu said this, he had already begun to yearn for it in his heart. Yes, the combat power of the Salted Fish King after his original return to Super Evolution, is already comparable to that of ordinary king-level elves. However, Yang Yu also has to consider the trump cards that the king-level trainer may have, and even the inevitable Super Evolution. In any case, Yang Yu's current background is still a little too shallow, but after passing through the inner world behind the mirror door in Lake of Mirrors, there is also a super invincible and huge earth turtle, a mountain-like earth turtle. Now, Yang Yu can say that he has completed most of the task of rebuilding the mirror lake. It will take many years of accumulation to make the newly built mirror lake evolve into the same as the first mirror lake that Yang Yu saw. This recovery process will be long, but it is an excellent start after all. At this time, Bulbasaur built a hut to protect Boss Cordera from the rain. Boss Cordera, who was seriously injured, lost the protection of the solid shell, and with the attributes of the rock system, he had no defense. The ability of rain. The magic wall doll used the air wall to temporarily build a glass canopy. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian sat down inside and looked at the rain outside, gradually accumulating water in the newly built Lake of Mirrors. It may take a long time, but Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian are willing to wait. Wait until you have enough water. After passing the test of the secret labyrinth one after another, although many trainers have been trapped in the labyrinth due to various circumstances, Some elves in this secret realm are enough to make them feel happy. Most elite trainers, but not all elves have reached the elite level. There are also many elves with advanced strength. In this secret maze, there are so many elves living in groups that many trainers can't even deal with gophers. No one knows where the mole will come out. It is really a whack-a-mole, but not everyone can successfully whack a mole. In the Elf Alliance, the speed race value of 95 is no joke. Once an angry gopher is pissed off, trainers will have a taste of what real island survival is, or pothole survival. In short, in this secret realm, any bizarre things may happen. Not to mention the rolling thunder and earth shaking ahead. This rain really came at the right time. I finally got out of this hellish place, damn. The moment Wonkaizu stepped out of the secret maze through the maze door, he finally sat down on the ground tiredly. This journey is full of disasters. Wonkaizu felt as if he was possessed by a curse and looked sharply in a certain direction. Cursed doll. I'm not, I didn't, it's not my curse. Fortunately, this journey was not without rewards. Wonkaizu captured an elf with some strange attributes. Come out, Ice Vulpix. A light blue and almost white elf appeared next to Wonkaizu. It is very similar to the Vulpix, but it has the power of ice. Although the tail is not as obvious as the Vulpix, Wonkaizu can still see some small shallow marks. It really looks like an elf from the snow country. Wonkaizu gently stroked the fluffy hair on Bingliawei's head and smiled. The gradient blue and white eyes are not ordinary beautiful, they are more crystal clear than gems, and what is incomparable to gems is this aura of agility. Sana. Gardevoir also likes such small and exquisite elves. This Ice Vulpix is not an elf living in groups, and there are no traces of other Ice Vulpix in the secret labyrinth. Wonkaizu can only subdue it. So clingy, are you looking for a girlfriend in the future? Humph, I don't need a girlfriend, Wonkaizu grinned, with joy on his face. Although it was a bit miserable along the way and I was almost hacked by one of my own people, God was so kind to me. Wonkaizu is already looking forward to what the Ice Vulpix will look like in the future after it evolves. The appearance of the fire-type Ninetales, if the color becomes blue and white like this. That must be beautiful. If I could have better luck, it wouldn't be a problem to be struck by thunder a few more times. Wonkaizu began to get carried away. Zhyla. Rumble, rumble, rumble. A thunder flashed in the sky, scaring Wonkaizu so much that he almost exploded on the spot. Cursed doll. The cursed doll looked at its owner, wondering if he was thinking of suggesting that he sew his mouth shut with a zipper, otherwise, it would be too scary. I was wrong, brother, Yang Yu, don't listen to me setting the flag. Why don't I give your little dream demon top-up coins and super membership when I go back? After an encounter in the secret labyrinth, Wonkaizu was extremely sure that whenever there was thunder in the sky, it must be caused by God Yang Yu, and it must be the Salted Fish King, for sure. This time Wonkaizu really guessed correctly. The thunder was really caused by the Salted Fish King. The rain falling from the sky was not begged by the Salted Fish King, but it still had something to do with it. Hey! When Bingliawei heard the rumbling thunder, he buried his head tighter in Wonkaizu's arms, and his little body shivered even more. If Yang Yu saw Wonkaizu's I-6 tails, he would probably be the King Zhou and Daji. However, Wonkaizu is naturally not the King Zhou, but Daji is still possible. The appearance of the Ice Vulpix is one of the best among the elves in the entire Alola region. Brother Yang Yu, please show mercy. Wonkaizu had an extra black branch in his hand and bowed respectfully to drive away evil spirits, drive away evil spirits. It would be impossible not to worship. G. Sana. Suddenly, the cursed doll and Gardevoir gave warnings at the same time. Wonkaizu put away the Ice Vulpix and his eyes calmed down a little. He has seen it. In the forest ahead, there are already more sounds of fighting between elves. When you come here, you will probably encounter a chaotic battle. Cursed doll, Gardewar, we have to be careful. It is estimated that many trainers from all over the world will gather in this forest, and first go to find the trainers from China who came with them. At this time, the power of one person is too much, it's limited. Wan Kaizu looked deeply at the huge forest in front of him and stepped in resolutely. Senior brother Qian, the water here in Mirror Lake is full. Although there is a lot of sediment in the water, it will take many years for the ecosystem to recover naturally. Now, let's set off. Yang Yu stood up. Where to go? Wu Yuqian was stunned. Go to the Gate of Life that you want to find in North America. The world in the Gate of Life is the truly huge treasure in the secret realm of Sky City. Asking for votes. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 717. Wu Yuqian's heart was filled with ups and downs. What kind of mysterious space is it that makes some North American trainers who know the secrets of the Lake of Mirrors call this Mirror Gate the Gateway of Life? Wu Yuqian held his breath and followed Yang Yu through the Gate of Life on the side of their home where Yang Yu had grown up. Yo, yo, yo. The little smelly mud is naturally very familiar with the road here, and he leads the way from the front. From time to time, he also introduces it, like a little tour guide to a secret place. It's quite interesting to have Reggie Rock help translate. Only, it seems, doesn't this look like an ordinary underground tunnel? But Wu Yuqian is not in a hurry. Here is another round of exploring new maps. When these ordinary plots are over, the rest will become exciting. Yang Yu said, this is because the Lake of Mirrors was destroyed before. There is no water in the lake. If it is a complete lake of mirrors, this is the world under the lake. Like some tunnels in the deep sea, there are many fish. Elf. Wu Yuqian looked at the surrounding environment, thought about it for a while, and quickly understood what the original scene was like, and nodded. Let's start flying here, the space is relatively open, Yang Yu suggested. No problem. This time it was still Xiao Baobao. Wu Yuqian also summoned his own eagle to fly in the underground world. It was also an excellent flying experience. Dream-inducing taper, safety will continue to be left to you. Suli, the dream-inducing taper nodded. When Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian flew over the area with pure underground lake water, the situation here changed slightly, and the flow rate obviously began to become faster. The underground lake here is connected to the newly built Lake of Mirrors. However, human trainers are still unable to enter from the newly built Lake of Mirrors. The terrain is relatively complex, and more importantly, the future giant the swamp monster will become the guardian spirit of the Lake of Mirrors, Yang Yu said with a smile. When the secret realm of Sky City opens next time, if anyone still wants to find the Mirror Gate by destroying the Lake of Mirrors, the gym-level giant swamp monster will not agree. Yo-oh! Yo-oh! Little Stinky Ni also waved his deformable fist on Wu Yuqian's back. They, Stinky Ni and Stinky Ni, wouldn't agree either. Whoever dares to have the crooked idea of destroying the Lake of Mirrors again will let the Stinky Mud and Stinky Muds overwhelm the mountain. Wu Yuqian felt that the combination of skills was very powerful, with thousands of Stinky Muds and Stinky Muds all rolled into one. Pamper those people. The flight this time was very fast, which was different from the previous time when I came here. When I came here, Yang Yu was still afraid of arousing the anger of the Smelly Mud and the Smelly Mud group. Fortunately, things are sometimes unexpected. I thought about meeting senior brother Qian. When the first dazzling light in the distance appeared in front of Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian's eyes, Yang Yu smiled and Wu Yuqian was shocked. Looks like it's coming. When Yang Yu was sitting on Xiao Baobao and Wu Yuqian was sitting on Bai Diao, they emerged from this underground hole. Everything suddenly became clear. This is like a real secret realm, Wu Yuqian couldn't help but sigh. The sky here is clear, white clouds are floating, and there is no trace of anyone. There are plains and mountains around. Wu Yuqian can see a whole group of flying elves gathering in the distance. Hold head high. Bai Diao's eyes lit up. This is the paradise for flying elves? Choo choo choo. Wu Yuqian's little Jeju looked at the many flying elves in the distance in the sky, and began to feel a little worried. He puffed up his cheeks and quickly hugged Bai Diao's head feathers with his wings. As if whispering, "This is mine, this is mine." Matcha transforms into a fighting bird. Wu Yuqian looked at this little natural bird that suddenly became nervous and chirped with amusement. The way its cheeks puffed up, its head must be stronger, right? This time, there are no bird spirits like the big-billed gulls that mistake Yang Yu and the others for fish. The environment here has lost a lot of vitality due to the destruction of Mirror Lake before, but there are also smelly mud. The protection of the smelly mud is not particularly depressed. Senior brother Qian, let's continue moving forward. When the time comes, you will be able to see the most incredible scene in this world. Yang Yu's tone became mysterious again. Wu Yuqian smiled heartily. Wu Yuqian, haven't seen any scenes before? First the rock god pillar Regirock, then the giant claw mantis megastone, and then I saw the lightning bird and Bai Diao's megastone. What else can I do? What surprised me? More importantly, many of Wu Yuqian's perceptions were broken by Yang Yu alone. Yang Yu's violent long-range annihilation turret and the violent melee high attack and high defense dual form Super Scarlet Gyarados. No one else has seen it before, right? Wu Yuqian has seen it? A violent melee type of rampaging menus, the type that can defeat the gym-level Steel Snake with 2 tails and the gym-level Bulbasaur with 1 tail. No one else has seen it before, right? Wu Yuqian has seen it? Not to mention the always steady Dumb, coupled with another violent gym-level Gyarados, baby Gyarados. Wait, when did Yang Yu, this little Gyarados, get promoted to gym level? Damn it! Overshadowed by the brilliance of Salted Fish King and Minas, Xiao Baobao was promoted to the gym level, which Wu Yuqian didn't even notice. How long has it been? To be fair, Wu Yuqian is now the second youngest trainer in the country to defeat the Elf Alliance gym leader. After careful calculation, even if he obtains Bai Diao's Megastone, he seems to be far behind Yang Yu's progress. Better. Junior brother Han is mighty. However, Yang Yudu said this in advance. Wu Yuqian felt that he still had to be mentally prepared. Senior brother Qian, don't say much, you will know when we get there. Yang Yu was holding back now, trying not to laugh, and he was looking forward to seeing senior brother Qian's overturning performance. That's a whole mountain of turtles. Not to mention that Wu was rich. Even when Yang Yu guessed it, he felt that the world was a little unreal, as if he had been in a movie or a dream world. There are some things that you can only feel the magic of the elf world if you see them with your own eyes. In fact, there is no secret of life. Life itself is constantly growing, evolving, and evolving. The environment will give life an evolutionary direction, just like the little stinky mud. Natural selection, survival of the fittest. That's all. As long as you have attended Elf Junior High School or Elf High School, and have read Science Enlightenment textbooks and elf biology, you can understand the simple truth. People who want to study the secrets behind the door of life must have never been to junior high school. If they do research to that extent, it is better not to do it. They don't even know the most basic principles. Just pick up a junior high school student and they will do it. We know the principle of natural selection and survival of the fittest. They don't really want to create elves that can fight against gods, do they? Yang Yu still missed a beat in his heart. This speculation is not unfounded, but there are indeed such examples in Yang Yu's memory, whether in animations or movies. After I go back, it seems I really have to go to North America for a walk. Dede slightly noticed Yang Yu thinking, but did not disturb Yang Yu's thinking. No matter where Yang Yu goes, Dada just needs to follow him. Dada is very reliable. Yeah. At this time, Dada raised his head. At this moment, there were many flying elves in the sky flying not far from them. They looked at the strange appearance of Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian with great curiosity, which they had never seen before. Among them, there are many large-billed gulls. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Little Jeju stood on Bai Diao's head and faced off against these flying elves in the air. His eyes were not empty at all, and his aura was not even ordinary high-pitched. Senior brother Jian, could it be that the flying elf here is eyeing your Bai Diao? It seems to be a real male god Bai Diao. Yang Yu put away those thoughts and looked at Bai Diao now. The angry matcha on the head of the sculpture is large and looks a bit cute. Ha 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 ha. Wu Yuqian looked at this group of flying elves, and none of them were particularly powerful. He shook his head and said loudly, "Junior brother Han, no, this group of flying elves are too weak, and they are not enough for me. It's better than an eagle." Choo choo choo. Xiao Zhiju stopped the confrontation in the air and nodded in agreement. These flying elves are not enough to beat it? Too weak. The little dream demon also felt that with Xiao Baobao around, none of these bird-flying elves could fight any of them. Poppy. Yang Yu looked at the two elves in front of him, and then at the sleeping mini-dragon. He felt as if he had missed something, and suddenly thought of a certain aggressive elf. No wonder Yang Yu felt a little uncomfortable somewhere. It turned out to be because he was too busy before and didn't have a 1v1 with Guiguabaoa. He felt uncomfortable all day long. This can't be done in the sky for the time being. Let's wait until we land on the ground later. How could the majestic Bai Diao fall in love with these flying elves who can't help but fight? On the other side of the Lake of Mirrors, Bai Diao has already made an appointment. After the warrior eagle recovers from its injury, Bai Diao wants to have sex with it. Get on the shelf. Hold head high. Bai Diao wanted to drive away this messy group of flying elves, but he didn't know that his bird song, which resounded in the sky, instead of driving away these weak flying elves, attracted more flying elves. Wu Yuqian's eyelids were twitching wildly. What the hell is this? These flying elves, are they crazy? One by one, have you never seen such a handsome Bai Diao? Bai Diao, let's leave quickly. Choo choo choo. But Xiao Ni's eyes were full of novel curiosity. Before, it could only look at the bird elves flying in the sky on the ground, but now. So close. So close. Yo. It turns out that this world is so big. After speeding up the flight speed, there were finally a lot less flying elves behind him. But what was strange about Wu Yuqian was that when he and Yang Yu entered a mountain range shrouded in white mist, some of them were still chasing after them excitedly. The flying elf, the cry was actually much quieter. What's more important is that Yang Yu has no voice here. Instead, there was an indescribable solemn feeling. Junior brother Han, it seems a little weird here. Is there something wrong? It seems to be very quiet here. In the mountain, there won't be that kind of old man with a white beard living there. It looks like a very suitable place for cultivating immortals. Wu Yuqian lowered his voice. Watching Yang Yu Xiao Baobao's flying speed slow down, he also made Bai Diao slow down. It's better to be careful. This is it, Yang Yu said quietly, and at the same time, he began to feel nervous and expectant. I hope, this time, Yang Yu can gain the favor of Senior Tutegui. Facing this mountain-like turtle Senior, Yang Yu had to take the initiative. Otherwise, how could there be a story between the trainer and the elf? Yang Yu strives as hard as possible. If he can succeed, from a short-term perspective, this will be Yang Yu's absolute backer in the secret realm of Sky City. In terms of elf attributes, the 1,000-year-old Tutegui Senior can be like a lightning bird. There are many things you can't do. At the same time, if you look at the long term, Yang Yu had an ambition in his heart. In the future, I will obtain the right to use a piece of sea area on the sea. The islands and other things are too spicy and are not worthy of Yang Yu's status. What other island can be more powerful and safer than living directly on the back of Senior Turtle? Backer's own Meng Hao has completed the request of Senior Tutegui to rebuild the Lake of Mirrors. Please show up to Senior Tutegui. Turtle. Where is that? Wu Yuqian looked around, trying to find the shadow of the Tutai turtle in the mountains, especially to see if there were any huge caves. Maybe the Tutai turtle was inside. However, when the entire mountain began to shake. Wu Yuqian? Damn it! Damn it! Damn, I've never seen this scene before. Please vote.